everybody. So we had a good day. It was an amazing little party at the White House for lots of people, but just a great 4th of July. We have some busy things to do tomorrow. We have a pretty busy period of time. The economy is doing great. The country is doing amazing. It's on the right track. In fact, right track, wrong track came out, I guess, the first time in 28 years that they said we're in the right track. I don't know why it was so long, but we're doing very well. Anybody have any questions? Oh, that's terrible. The floods? It's shocking. They don't know the answer yet as to how many people, but it looks like some young people have died.
Will there be any federal aid for them?
Oh, yeah. Sure. We'll take care of it. We're working with the governor. We're working with the government. It's a terrible thing.
What's your reaction to Hamas and the response to your peace proposal? They said they gave you a positive response.
They said they gave me a positive response?
Yes.
Well, that's good. I mean, I've heard that, but they haven't briefed me on it yet. I think they're going to be positive about it. We have to get it over with. Hamas we have to get it over with. We have to do something about Gaza. We've been doing it. You know, we're sending a lot of aid, a lot of money and a lot of aid. Otherwise, you have people in big, big trouble. But, yeah, I think it's been very positive, a good response. Yes, please.
Did you sign any letters for your training?
I did. I signed some letters, and they'll go out on Monday, probably 12. 12 different amounts of money, different amounts of tariffs, and somewhat different statements.
Mr. President, which countries will receive those letters on Monday?
You'll be announced. I have to announce it on Monday. I can't do it.
Mr. President, what do you want to hear from Prime Minister Netanyahu on Monday in your meeting?
Well, we're going to have a meeting on Iran, obviously. And, you know, the success, it was a great success. And blown to pieces, the whole nuclear thing. I would say it's set back permanently. If they were going to do it again, they might as well start in a different location, because that location is totally demolished. They could start, but I would think they'd have to start in a different location. But if they did start, there'd be a problem. We wouldn't allow that to happen.
Mr. President, follow up. Mr. President, Iran has not agreed to inspections. Iran has not agreed to inspections. Iran has not agreed to give up their nuclear enrichment. Is the ceasefire premature?
Well, you're saying they haven't agreed. Let's see what it is. They want to meet with me, so if they haven't agreed, then we're not going to have a very successful meeting. Right?
Mr. President, are you still optimistic about a Gaza deal next week?
There could be a Gaza deal next week, yeah.
How optimistic are you?
I'm very optimistic, but, you know, look, it changes from day to day. It's been changing for years. It changed. As I came in, I inherited a very bad situation in many ways. And whether it's 25 million people coming in from prisons, jails, from mental institutions, from gangs, you know, it's or that, or Gaza. You could say Gaza. You could say I inherited Iran. We did something about it. We've gotten a lot of hostages out, as you know, from Gaza, a lot. But unfortunately, you know, we came into that, we inherited that situation.
Mr. President, can you tell us about your call with Zelensky today on that Wednesday?
Yeah, we had a good call. We talked about different things, and we had a very good call. I think a very, very strategic call.
Are there plans to partner with Ukraine on munitions?
Well, we've been helping them, and we'll continue to help them. It's a pretty tough situation. We'll see what happens. I told you I was very unhappy with my call with President Putin, and it just seems like he wants to go all the way and just keep killing people. No good. It's not good. I wasn't happy with it.
Mr. President, are there any updates on the negotiations of the TikTok deal?
Yeah, we're pretty much have a deal. Now we're going to go and ask. I think we're going to start Monday or Tuesday asking, talking to China, perhaps President Xi or one of his representatives. But we pretty much have a deal on TikTok.
And how confident
But
are
we
you
think we probably have to get it approved by China. Not definitely, but probably.
How confident are you that China will agree to that deal?
I'm not confident, but I think so. President Xi and I have a great relationship, and I think it's good for them. I think the deal is good for China. and it's good for us. And for us, it's money. You know, we make a lot of money if the deal goes through.
Are you planning to visit President Xi? Are you planning to go even in
Well, I was asked to go there. Yeah, he asked me if I'd go, and he would likewise come here.
that soon?
We get along very well. We always have gotten along well.
President, Iran has said that they want to go to the UN and have the UN force the United States potentially to damaging their guns by the UN. What is your response to that?
You're going to have to say that again because you're being blurred out.
That Iran wants to have the UN force the US to pay for the damages that were done by the strike that the US did.
I think it's pretty ridiculous, yeah. I would say maybe very ridiculous.
Can you tell us about
Go
your
ahead,
phone?
please.
Mr. President, Putin has not agreed to a ceasefire. Do you think he's mocking you?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's worried about sanctions. I do think he's very worried about sanctions. And, you know, we're determining that the Senate, as you know, has put in big sanctions, very big
You want to
sanctions.
see Patriot missiles go into Ukraine?
Well, they need them for defense. I mean, I don't want to see people killed, and they're going to need them for defense. They're amazingly effective. You know, we knocked out 14 out of 14. That's pretty amazing. If you think of it, it's almost incredible. But we knocked out 14 out of 14, so they're going to need something because they're being hit pretty hard.
Are you going to send them, though? Are you going to send more?
Yeah, we might. We're looking at it.
On tariffs, Mr. President, why are they only coming into effect in August?
Well, I'd probably start them on August 1st. Well, that's pretty early, right? I mean,
That's like
you know,
3 weeks after the
because we're talking about, yeah, so when do you think they should come into effect? Sooner? I don't know how they could be sooner. We waited about a 90-day period. We probably had 90 days or so, and really much longer than that because we've been looking at this for years. We've been looking at it. I've been looking at it for a long time. I can tell you every single country, and I can tell you every single deficit that we have and they have. I've been looking at it for many years, frankly, and I think it's ridiculous that countries were able to get away with so much.
President, can you tell us about your call with the German Chancellor today?
I had a great call with the German Chancellor. He's a strong guy, very good man, had a great victory.
Did you agree to send Patriot missiles?
No, we did talk about it, though, and he feels, you know, they have to be protected. He's a strong guy and smart, very smart man.
Mr. President, are you confident that you'll be able to find an end to the fighting in Ukraine?
That's an interesting question. We have with India and with Pakistan and in Africa, as you know, with the Congo and Rwanda, Serbia, Kosovo and so many others. We've found we've helped Egypt with, as you know, their next door neighbor, where the water is being taken from the Nile. We've helped a lot of countries. The Ukraine situation, that's a Biden deal. It's not a Trump deal. I'm trying to get it finished off, settled, and we'll see. I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not that's going to happen.
Is it a priority?
Yeah, I'd like to see it happen. I don't want to see 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 soldiers killed every week. And you have other people, but for the most part, so far it's been mostly soldiers. And they're Ukrainian soldiers, and they're also Russian soldiers. But it's 5,000 souls, and they're being killed every single week. So it's really higher than that now.
Do you expect any trade deals this weekend, Teresa?
Yeah, I do. I think I'll probably send out 10 or 12 letters.
Mr. President, in addition to the letters, do you think you'll be able to reach deals with the European Union or India?
I think that letters are better for us. I've said that all along because you have hundreds of countries. You know, you have over 200 countries, and you can't sit down with 200 countries. I think the letters are better. I think a simple tariff is simpler than and better than sitting down and working 15 different things. You know, with the UK we did that, and it was great for both parties. With China we did that, and I think it's very good for both parties. We have India coming up, and with Vietnam we did it, but it's much easier to send a letter saying, listen, we know we have a certain deficit, or in some cases a surplus, but not too many. And this is what you're going to have to pay if you want to do business in the United States. And it's a tremendous amount of money that would be coming to us.
What about the European Union?
It's really, by the way, it's a tremendous amount of money. You see the kind of money already. You know, we're taking in tariffs now on cars, usually about 25%. Every car that comes into the country is paying about 25%. Lumber, steel, aluminum. But for the most part, I'd say just a percentage of maybe 15, 20% of the ultimate tariff, which would be over the next few months. And, you know, we've taken in over $100 billion already.
Mr. President,
You
can you
plan to let
Pretty shocking. So much. And the other thing that's happening is many countries are moving into the country in order not to pay tariffs. So they're moving their factory here in order not to pay tariffs.
Mr. President, can you talk about your meeting with the Saudi Defense Minister at the White House?
Yeah, we had a great meeting. Great person. He was representing, and he had some statements from the king and from the crown prince. Great people. They congratulated us on the incredible attack on Iran. It was an attack on something that you can't have, the nuclear facility. It's been proven now that it's been totally obliterated. If they wanted to start, they couldn't start there. They'd have to start someplace else. But it was a congratulatory call in many ways. We talked about trade. We talked about missile defense. We talked about airplanes. They want to buy a lot of airplanes.
Why are you so much tougher on Iran than Russia?
No, I think I'm tougher on Russia than I am on Iran, actually. If you remember Nord Stream 2, you never heard that term until Trump came along, right? And, you know, I closed it, and that was the biggest economic development deal they've ever done. Then Biden opened it, but then it got closed. But Biden opened it. No, I think I'm tougher on Russia than I was on almost any other country.
Would you like to see Patrick Reed make the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I think he's great. Patrick Reed, he's great.
Mr. President, have you threatened Putin with sanctions to him personally?
We talk about sanctions a lot, yeah.
What does he say?
I would say he's not thrilled with it, but, you know, he's been able to handle sanctions, but these are pretty biting sanctions. No, we talk about sanctions a lot. And he understands that it may be coming, and, you know, he's a professional.
It may be coming.
Yeah, maybe coming, sure.
Have you decided on what your next international trip might be?
With who? With what?
Have you decided on what your next international trip might be?
Yeah, you know, it changes a lot. We get these emergencies. I'm putting out fires all over the place. Talking about my next international trip. We're putting out fires all over the place, and so it's, you know, changing, but we're planning to go to Europe. We've been invited to Turkey. I've been invited, frankly, to every country. We had a tremendous success in NATO. As you know, they've agreed to put up more than $1 trillion. They took it from 2%, but they weren't paying 2%. They were paying less, to 5%, where they're paying. And that's a big deterrent. That was a great thing they did. I have a great relationship with almost all of the nations.
Mr. President, your plan to let farmers keep their workers that might not be in the country legally, would you do that for other industries like oil building?
Yeah, well, we're looking at that right now, and we're going to come out with a statement on it sometime next week. But we want to have, you know, certain industries need help because we don't have enough people. And we're going to be coming out with a statement fairly soon. What we are doing is getting all the criminals out of our country. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you had a good time, and it's been a great, I think it's been a great 4th of July. It's been a great, happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.